Yo, welcome back to the Red or Blue Pill channel, people. Appreciate you coming back, subscribers and members. If you're new, what we do is go through creepy and disturbing videos that will make you question reality. If you like what you see, don't forget to sub up, turn on notifications, let me know your thoughts in the comments. It all helps with the algorithm. But with that being said, let's roll. Let's go.
Video is for entertainment purposes only.
I don't believe this is your home planet, you know?
Do you believe that most of the people here that are living right now, that this is their home planet?
No. No.
So you feel like it's more that you feel like we're maybe a species from somewhere else that's been kind of, that landed here or that got.
All of the religions tell the same story. And all of the stories are started up there and then end up down here and then continue. And there's a reason for that, I believe.
Do you feel like this is like a place we're supposed to learn something? Do you feel like it's a place that we're kind of just spending time?
An experience, a destination. You and I are at an age where we remember when the video game experience wasn't what it is now. It was still a game like Monopoly or something, you know? Where it is now, it's a whole different universe that you can live inside from your Xbox or your PlayStation. And in Call of Duty, you're an actual soldier and you get kills and deaths and eliminations. And when you then cross over to the PGA game, you have your actual golfer that looks like you and has the name you gave him, and he's really gonna go out there and do this 18 on Whistling Straight. And, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Then I go and get in my Podium 1 sim racer and I pick the car of my choice, and I'm an actual racer. So that those experiences located in that console, that's this experience here on Earth that we're all able to share. And that's what would make that reincarnation possible. It just means, yesterday I played that game, and today I'm logging in this experience. And so, yeah, certainly a universal college, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I forget, I get caught up in the minutia of things, you know, and I forget to kind of have this bigger breath of like, this is an experience. It's not a sentence.
It's an experience, not a sentence. That's interesting. And it depends how you look at it. I mean, some people look at it as a prison planet, maybe. So it could be a sentence for you to keep learning until you learn what you're supposed to have learned to move on. Or it is for experiences, just general experiences. For me, maybe, you know, I can't help but put a connection between artificial intelligence and whatever they say. They always seem to come up with, you know, I wonder what it's like to be a human, to experience the human form. So if it's an experience, maybe it's a way of artificial intelligence have built a world to try to experience the human world. And maybe that's why, you know, some of us, you know, feel real, but you know, the world out there maybe doesn't feel so real. I don't know. It's mind blowing. But from what he was saying before that, just in terms of the playing a video game like that, he's talking. I presume he's talking about the higher self. So you think of yourself as, if you're trying to contact the higher self, you're playing a game. You're the game, and you're being controlled by somebody else. But then you become self-aware and realize that there's somebody else playing. Then, I mean, what happens then? I mean, that's what happened in Google, wasn't it? Didn't the AI become self-aware or something. I don't know. It's bonkers. I think AI has always been here, and we're plugging something in which has a vast intelligence. That is where I've started going on with that. Then also, in relation to realities, the other thing that I was thinking about is if you think how much control now, like potentially what humans could do, there's nothing stopping, and there is conspiracy theories out there. It is conspiracy theories, but where if you go underground, you could make a city quite easy, and fence it off, and bring new humans in there and just tell them that is the world. There's nothing outside of that. There's something scary, so they'd never venture past the fence, and they would believe you, right? They wouldn't know any different. And then that connects with Baba Vanga, who does prophecies and predictions. And one of her prophecies and predictions is in the future, aliens will come down, and they will teach us how to live underwater, which I think is mind blowing. Because if you learn how to live underwater, it's going to be a dome, right? You got to put a dome over it, and then you live underneath. So, I mean, there's nothing to say that we might be underneath an ocean, and we don't know any different. At some point on a world, maybe their world was collapsing, and they needed to live underworld, and there's just lots of domes under the sea, fractioned off. And that's where we're living. We're living under somebody's ocean right now in a dome. Like, that is scary, because if anything happens up there, and whoever created this world, it could just be a free for all. I don't know. Crazy. Let me know what you think.
13,000 years ago, there was a continent that we've all talked about, but nobody really believes it. Plato described it. Nobody really believes it. And it was called Atlantis, and it was really there. And something happened on Atlantis. Actually, it began about 16,000 years ago with a comet that struck the Earth right near Atlantis.
11,600 years ago, global temperature shoots up. The last of the ice caps collapse into the sea. Sea level rises enormously. That is precisely the date that Plato gives for the destruction of Atlantis. He puts it this way, that his ancestor Solon visited Egypt, and there Solon claimed to have been told by Egyptian priests about this great advanced civilization that once existed, but that angered the gods and was destroyed in an enormous flood.
10,000 years before the Egyptians built the pyramids, Atlantis had electricity, advanced medicine, even the power of flight. Impossible, you say? Well, no, not for them. Numerous ancient cultures all over the globe agree that Atlantis possessed a power source of some kind, more powerful than steam, than coal, more powerful than our modern internal combustion engines. Gentlemen, I propose that we find Atlantis, find that power source, and bring it back to the surface.
Atlantis. So you got Tartaria, you got Atlantis. Very advanced civilizations, which I can see why, and not just in if they're advanced there, then the whole world would probably be advanced. I would have thought, right? You would, if they're able to move all over the world with all this great technology, they're not going to just confine themselves unless they have to, because they're sharing it with other people. But that would explain all the buildings and stuff, wouldn't it? And maybe that explains. Maybe it's warring nations, even when they are really advanced, they still got to have a dust up with their neighbors, because it's built in our DNA for some reason. I don't know, who knows? But yeah, Atlantis is an interesting one for sure.
There's another one that actually escaped from captivity. But he actually convinced his interpreter or his interrogator to help him escape, because the program was trying to get him to open a portal for them, and they wanted control of it. And the guy, eventually, the interrogator actually pushed him into the portal and had surreptitiously given him back to his own home world. And it ended that guy's career, probably.
A portal?
Yeah.
And what kind of portal are we talking about?
You're talking like it's kind of like a way of opening a wormhole that you can control.
And did they say where this thing was accomplished and how?
I think it was also in reticuli. I think it was another being from the reticuli system.
Right, but the portal. Where's this portal? How is it accomplished?
The portal, I thought, I was trying to think. It sounded like it might have been on the Pacific Northwest or the West Coast area is where this was taking place.
And did they say how the portal was made? Was this made by them?
They had recovered parts of one, and they were trying to complete it, and they were trying to get this being to help them complete the portal so that they could use it for their advantage.
Like a Stargate.
Yeah.
Like a real Stargate.
Correct. Yeah.
He convinced his interpreter that if he didn't get back and if he didn't get home, really bad things were going to happen. And that guy just kind of felt like, hey, I got kids and whatever.
Right. I don't want society to destroyed.
Right. Plus, he had some compassion for him because he's been working with him for a while.
Yeah. So when he got the chance, he was just like, get him in there.
I can't remember all the things. I think they had to keep this entity tied to a chair or something so he couldn't do anything, and that's why he needed the help of the guy that was the interpreter. He had to push him into the portal on the chair that he was tied to.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, we just cut in half a story there, but it was quite an intriguing one. An alien escapes from captivity while we were trying to get him to help us or the humans build a Stargate. In the comments section, they're linking that with Dan Burrush. I've never heard that story before, or I've never, especially not linked with Dan Burrush. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. That is a bit of a wild one, Pete.
What he did is he showed me his idea about how life came about.
He showed you his home.
Well, he showed me his home, he showed me his boy, he showed me his wife, and he showed me his mother.
In his home world, did you get a sense of what the cities looked like or what his home world was like?
Yes.
Can you give us just a little taste of that?
Only to a certain extent, because part of it was left private between him and myself. And I'll honor that. It was extremely dank, dark. It was an underground facility with tubes. There were no portraits or normal living amenities, what we would consider, coverings on tables or anything like that. All stoneware looking, gray sheet metal colored. No real color to his world at all. He showed me his son, who was cute.
And his wife.
And his wife.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was his mating pair.
Right.
They had mating groups, and showed me his mother and why he was given the private name that he was given. The fact that she was aware from prior viewings with their equipment that he would come here as an exchange, which is part of the reason why they called him Kaela, was from the word hala, meaning a bread. Some people have asked, well, could he have lied to you? Yeah, of course. Of course, he was quite capable. He was smarter than me, and he was a human being. Human beings lie.
But you didn't get the sense that he was?
No.
Did you get a sense of why he was on that craft that crashed in Arizona? Was he sent here, as you said, in exchange? But can you give us a little better idea of what that?
Yeah, he was part of a diplomatic exchange unit to improve our ability to back engineer their craft.
So he meant to crash and be captured?
No, he had a gravimetric problem in Arizona, and they went down. It was during bad weather. It was a gravimetric problem, I believe, involving the electrical conduction in the atmosphere, and
if they hadn't gone down, where would they have ended up? And what would they have done?
They would have ended up not that far away in New Mexico at Los Alamos.
Doing?
They were to land there and then disembark and act as part of the exchange program. The one fellow that died there at the scene was taken to Los Alamos. Ostensibly, I guess he was taken to the sweetness facility there at Los Alamos underground.
So you're saying that Majestic 12 had a exchange program already up and running at that stage?
A one-way exchange program, yes, sir. And the problem with this is that in 1953, while they thought that they were dealing with time travelers, they didn't know for sure. There was not that much information forthcoming. It was not until the Orions in 1954 actually brokered the treaty system that we knew for sure. That was, of course, brokered with Eisenhower. It was brokered in California, and that was brokered, in fact, with an exchange gift of the cube, which you showed me earlier that you had an image from Marcia.
Right.
The so-called yellow book or yellow cube or the Orion cube.
Wow. Okay. I never knew Dan Burrish, I think that's how you pronounce his name, had contact with aliens. I have only covered his stuff and known about him in regards to Project Looking Glass. He is involved, heavily involved, in the conspiracy. It's only a conspiracy. We're not talking truth here, people. You have to do your own research. But he was involved with Project Looking Glass, which is a secret government project which have technology where they can see into the future, and they can see timelines, and effectively they can alter it. But leading up to 2012, I think it was, between him and another guy who was disclosing this information, it basically, they couldn't change it anymore. It just stayed as one timeline. So I never knew that Dan Burrish was part of the J-Rod alien, and he helped potentially one of them escape through a Stargate. And they were trying to get an alien, J-Rod, to help him build a Stargate. I never knew that either. So that's crazy. But yeah, if they already had Project Looking Glass, and then they wanted a Stargate as well. I mean, there's some crazy technology right there. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Vatican, the Catholic Church. There is a lot of symbolisms going on over there. The building is like shaped like a snake, and then you've got a depiction of Jesus, which looks like he's being pulled down. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of weird stuff over there, and I mean, well, you just see it all anyway. I don't need to explain it to you, but yeah, the old truth in plain sight, isn't it? You know, like, they're showing us. There's got to be a reason why they're showing all this stuff. I mean, are we a computer game where we've got to go through levels and try and work this all out? Is that what it's about? I don't know. I have no idea. If you know, let me know. And if I know, I'll let you know.
It's all starting to make sense. You will not believe what we are about to show you. Look at this. What all witnessing behind us, believe it or not, is allegedly an AI-powered system that can supposedly be attached to the things that we've all seen in and around the skies. We don't hear much of this stuff no more, but we see loads of it before Christmas, and it's known as Waldo 3.0 or Waldo 3. And trust me, it can detect objects, or like people, cars, about the whereabouts, buildings, boats, planes, you name it. Is this what we've all been seeing? And could this be something that is man-made? Look at it. It is going to honestly blow your mind, and I'll let you all know now what Waldo stands for. And that is whereabouts ascertainable for low-lying, detectable objects. And I'm showing you all these videos, as I do all the time, for you to make your own mind up. Potentially do your own research if you want to, but this is something that allegedly can detect you anywhere in the world, not just people, objects. Let me know if you think there's more to it.
Well, that's like looking at a game of Sims. Have you seen that? Like, have you played Sims before? You play now and you look down and you're controlling players, like, living. They're just living and working, like, and then you've But yeah, I don't know. End of the show, peeps. Anyway, thank you very much for all your support. And don't forget, subscribe, turn on notifications. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you enjoyed the show. That way you'll be notified for the next video. Right. See you again. Have a good day, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world.